Hi everybody. I wanted to introduce one of my activities called CD Math Grabs. The actual activity itself is available on the test website, but I wanted to kind of show you how easy it is to create all different types of math using some simple items that you could find in your classroom or have the kids bring in. But anyways, the name of the activity is CD Math, and it's basically 3 parts. The activity itself is 2 pages long, and when I do it with my 6th graders, it barely fills up a 40-minute spot, okay, which gives me time for the rest of my block. But anyways, there are 3 parts. Some of the skills that you're going to cover are going to be measurement, parts of the circle, and geometry concepts. It is a great activity for inquiry-based mathematics and the conceptual development of open-ended discussions. It can be an introductory, a reinforcement type activity. It really depends on where you want to go with it. It can even be a nice activity that you use before the holidays. But anyways, I'm going to give you a real brief rundown of what it's all about. The first part of it is all about circles and circle parts. The only materials you need to do it would be rulers and a CD. You could even have the kids bring in the CDs. There's tons of used CDs out there that they have sitting around in their house. But anyways, the first part of it is they have a table and they have to find the diameter, radius, circumference, and thickness of the CD. And it asks them to measure to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So they have to get very, very precise. So really all you're doing is having them fill in the table and practicing their measurement skills to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. Now what's unique about this is the thickness. When they have to measure the thickness of a CD, they have to come up with some, solid answers as to why they're going to choose one measurement over another. The second part of the table, they measure the same attributes of the circle, the diameter, radius, circumference, and thickness, but they use the inside circle. Okay, now obviously you could approach this several ways. They could directly measure radius and diameter, but the circumference you could teach them how to find it mathematically or have them do the rolling method. But in this lower section, they would have to have the skill of the finding the circumference using calculations, because they can't get inside there to measure. But anyway, so that's kind of a neat twist there. And then of course the thickness is going to remain the same. But so that's how the first part is all about circles and measurement. Now it gets interesting, a little bit more fun down at the bottom where it talks about reflections and that type of thing, and lines of symmetry and polygons. And the instructions tell the kids, using the reflective side of your CD, not the printed side, the reflective side of your CD, answer the following questions. Place your CD on edge along the dotted line. Identify the shape being made in the reflection. So the question is, what shape do the students get when they put their CD on that dotted line and they look at the reflection? Now what's neat is it completes the reflection and they have to identify the polygon. You can get very technical with this, depends on whatever level you want to go. You can talk about lines of symmetry, that sort of thing, congruent segments and all sorts. What's neat though is once they start doing this, they will automatically begin moving it and watching what happens to the shape on paper. So that's that natural inquiry process. From there, you go into part 3. Now part 3, they have you putting a CD down there and they say how many degrees will you need to rotate your CD in order to get the following reflections. Well, here's the reflection they want and here's the shape that they start with. So they put the CD on the shape like that and then they have to rotate it 45 degrees, 90 degrees, and they can rotate it a full 360 in order to get the shape. And that's what they want to do, but then they record over here. And so it's kind of a neat way for them to get used to the idea that things will change a certain way when they are rotated and reflected a certain number of degrees. Anyways, again, the name of this activity is CD Math Grabs, and you can pick it up at the test website.